officially eliminated. That's right. The Bengals officially eliminated from playoff contention. My thoughts following a Broncos beatdown of the Chiefs and everything that is going to follow in the coming days, weeks, months. Offseason questions, there are a ton of them. The Bengals missed the playoffs for a second straight year. We'll break it down right now on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. Hi again, everyone, and welcome into CBT. I'm James Rapien of BengalsTalk.com. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, join the 51,000 plus Bengals fans that subscribe to this channel. And today's video brought to you by BetUS. Look, this Bengals season started in disappointment with a 16-10 loss to the Patriots, and it ended in disappointment on Sunday night when the Chiefs laid an egg, tried not to play anyone of significance, and the Broncos just rolled past them. Last I checked, it was 38-0. That's likely going to be the final score as I record this. The Jets trying to do their part. We'll see if they can finish things off against the Dolphins, but it really doesn't matter. The Bengals are eliminated, and it's one of those things where you look at the year Joe Burrow had, and Jamar Chase, and Trey Hendrickson, and you're talking about the NFL passing leader. You're talking about the NFL Triple Crown winner, the NFL sacks leader. This Bengals team should be in the playoffs. And they don't have anyone to blame but themselves. Not the Chiefs, not the officials, not anyone. No. The Bengals have themselves to blame. And there's a lot of blame to go around. Front office-wise, certainly. The fact that the Jamar Chase negotiations or lack thereof went into the season, got into his head. He didn't play well that week one matchup against the Patriots. That alone might have cost them the 6 points needed to win that game. They lose 16-10 to the worst team in the NFL. I think the Patriots are the worst team in the NFL, certainly with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, and they blew it today, firing their coach, but blew it, having the number one overall pick in their hands coming into today. So I look at that and look at all of these things that have transpired. The 1 point loss to Kansas City, 3 losses by 3 points or less, back-to-back losses to Baltimore where it goes down to the wire. You should have won at least one of those, if not both, but certainly the one at home, and not able to stop anyone early in the year. And the defense rallied a bit, but when you take the whole picture, it's disappointment. That's what it is. This year was a disappointment. And if you would have told me in August that Joe, Jamar, and Trey are going to play at that level and stay healthy and just play the way they played, I would have laughed at you at the idea of you saying, oh, yeah, they're going to be 9-8. They had no business being 9-8. And none. They were too good, too talented. But slow start, coaching gaffes, the inability to get these young guys right and ready to go, the regression of some guys, it's just everything hit. Inability to finish, game management, it's coaching, personnel, players in general not execute. It's all of the above. There's so much blame to go around. So players, they have themselves to blame. The front office, they have themselves to blame. The coaching staff, they have themselves to blame. And so no one at Paycor Stadium, when they look around, they can't point the finger. There are a few guys that could point the finger. Joe Burrow. But even Joe Burrow had some turnovers in key moments. Jamar Chase had some drops. Trey Hendrickson, as awesome as he was this year, there were big moments when they could have used one more impact play. Right? So I'm not really sure there's anyone in that building, even the big three of Jamar, Joe, and Trey, that can point the finger at someone else when they can look in the mirror and say, yeah, I could have done more. And I'm sure they will, by the way. But that is a big question. I know you have a lot of questions. T. Higgins, when can they sign him to an extension? Start negotiating with him. What's going to happen with this coaching staff? I have some thoughts on it, and we're going to have more thoughts as the days continue. But we will do that. We'll dive into what I think is coming up next. This video is brought to you by BetUS. Get to BetUS.com. Use code YouTube150 and get a 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. Whether it's NFL playoffs, the NBA, you can get in on all of the college bowl games with the college football playoff down to the Final Four. All you have to do is go to BetUS.com, use code YouTube150, and you'll get that free money that you can take advantage of. They have the fastest payouts in the industry. It is such an easy website to use, to navigate, to place wagers. So don't delay. Go to BetUS.com. Use code YouTube150. Again, that's code YouTube150 at BetUS.com. All right, let's start with T. Higgins. The Bengals can sign T. Higgins to a contract extension right now. They don't have to wait. They don't have to wait till after the Super Bowl. They don't have to wait for the confetti to fall or for the new league year to begin or for anything like that. They don't have to wait for the franchise tag window to open. They can sign him to an extension right now. And he's represented by Rocky Arsenault of Alliance Sports, Jamar Chase's agent as well. Jamar Chase is also eligible, has been eligible all season, by the way, to sign a contract extension. The thing that's weird with T is he was playing on the franchise tag. So the franchise tag deadline was July 15th. So during the season, he wasn't ineligible for a contract extension. He couldn't negotiate. They couldn't negotiate. Now that is gone. Those shackles are off. The Bengals can negotiate with T. Higgins. They could sign him to a contract extension right now. So if you saw what Joe Burrow said, I wrote about it for Bengals.com on Saturday night. You just can't let a guy like that leave the building, is essentially what Joe said. I get it. I back him. And I think that they should. Plenty of time to discuss T, though. I do think that there's going to be some coaching changes. My eyes instantly go to Lou Anarumo, Frank Pollock, Marion Hobby. And it really starts, Lou. Did Lou do enough to keep his job? That's a question. And I've heard mixed things. I think there are some within the organization that would keep Lou. I think that there are some that are like, well, we got to be better defensively. I wonder about Frank Pollock. I think his fit, his style, I think he's a good offensive line coach. But when you look at the way the Bengals are built and how they're going to throw it all over, is that the offensive line coach that you want? I do think he is a good coach, though. But there's no means, is it a Frank thing? It would be more of a fit thing. And so I think that Frank could be on the chopping block. And then obviously, if Lou stays, well, then do you look at the defensive line and say, Marion Hobby needs to get more out of these guys? Or is it, Lou's gone, we're going to clean house and get rid of most of these defensive coaches, if not all, and bring someone else in? I don't know. I think those are the questions about the coaching staff that are going to be answered in the coming days. And we don't have a schedule yet. My goal is to certainly hear from Zach Taylor. Maybe we get to hear from other members of the organization, even though that might be unlikely. Certainly hoping to hear from Joe Burrow in the next day or so before he potentially gets out of town. Hopefully from Jamar Chase, hopefully from T. Higgins. So there are a lot of guys that I'm hoping to hear from. And obviously, if we do, when we do, and hopefully we do, we're going to have you covered right here on CBT, whether it's Zach Taylor, whether it's other coaches, whether it's news, whether it's signings, whether it's anything. The offseason doesn't stop. It always goes. And we're going to continue to go right here on CBT. So the season's over. That's fine. Well, we're just getting started because free agency's right around the corner. The draft's right around the corner. We're going to be at the NFL Combine and in the coming days and weeks when there's player news, player decisions, coaching decisions, decisions on the staff. Well, I think that's going to be discussed as well because I do think some changes are coming. I don't think it's going to be Zach Taylor. I think Zach Taylor is going to be the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals in 2025. But under that, I do wonder about Lou. I certainly wonder about Frank. And I think that some of those other defensive coaches, even if Lou stays, could be in question. So we're going to have you covered, whether everyone comes back, whether no one comes back. And I do think, like I said, that I have a pretty good feel here. And Lou's job could be up for grabs here a little bit. Could be in trouble. I do think if they had gotten into the playoffs and he went out into Buffalo and contained Josh Allen, I think he'd be back. I also think that a guy in Mike Brown is someone that is hesitant, reluctant to make changes when he knows Lou Anarumo is a good football coach. I don't think anyone debates that. But there are some issues on defense, and we'll see if he takes the blame for those. Some of it is his fault, I think. Not all of it, for sure. And we'll certainly have a discussion about Lou in the coming days. So please, please, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and check out BengalsTalk.com if you're looking for more on the Bengals. Support our sponsor, BetUS. And for Andrew Fox-Miller, I'm James Rapien. Thank you so much for watching Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I think we'll do an end of season live for sure.
Well, I'll hold James to this because he's the worst at following through when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Am I?
And having fun.
Am I the worst at following
and having fun and celebrating a season.
I'm recording 8 more videos.
Just reveling for a moment and appreciating everything. The success of
I thank
the team,
people every
the channel.
video.
You don't need to talk yet. Can I mute you?
You're getting 8 videos tomorrow, brother.
This is what happens. I come up with
8
fun
videos.
things for you all, and he wants to punish me. Do you hear this? This is not
8
healthy.
videos.